Today we're at the Next Block Expo in Berlin, and we're going to ask what people think are the most promising use cases for blockchain technology. What do you see as the most promising use cases for blockchain technology in today's world?
In today's world, well, I think I'd say the B2B use cases I see are growing the strongest as a business model, right? So for example, Hedera, they do a lot of work with existing infrastructures and big TradFi, right? So that I see as a really strong use case. Where I also see a really strong use case is actually trying to connect blockchain and the use cases with rewards. But sorry to say, not play to earn, but when people are actually actively engaged with a specific core product or business, you use that as an additional reward layer, right, for the users. So these two I see are really strong use cases.
Literally everything that goes with AI, it's going to be there.
The payments, usability, and use cases are, from my perspective, the future of what might blockchain be useful for. Especially that the transactional costs of using blockchain in the payments are pretty low. So it is a great competition for traditional transfers, especially cross-border transfers, and moving the wealth from country to country.
Most useful cases, I think, traditional business, if joins blockchain industry, blockchain technology, is gonna be the most promising, because traditional business usually have already some numbers.
One of the things that I think that is actually going to drive adoption is going to be everything in regards to identities, because it's going to be the entry point for the development of future cases. And when I mean identity, I not only talk about identity of humans, but also identity of objects, right? Because this can be integrated later on into DPP, so digital product passports, and the supply chain. There is a massive interest, at least here in Europe, in everything that it comes to authentication and counterfeiting products. So also preventing the entrance of fake products into Europe, and this is something that you can actually do by enhancing also identities and digital product passports.
I think the most interesting use case at the moment, since there are many to believe there are use cases, but I think the one that we see crystallizing out right now also on the layer ones is definitely payment gateways, to enable that across the world instead of going through multiple banks, to really consolidate that together, use the blockchain for this technology, have good rails for on and off ramping back to fiat currencies, and I see that as the number one use case right now.
I like the fact that you can have real world assets with a proof of authenticity, or you can prove that you have been at an event, or you can prove that you own something, or you can have access to something. All of this, that the blockchain makes it really clear, and there is no doubt that you own it. So that's one of the aspects that I find really interesting.
In today's world, maybe it's finance transactions, but I hope in the world of future it's maybe Web3, gaming, and IP rights.
But there are so many of those, starting from logistics, education, finishing governments, and everything you can imagine can be actually on blockchain, and it gives transparency, it eliminates corruption, for example, and make everything more effective, transparent, and visible for people around the world.